And hello, and welcome to Critical Reroll, the podcast by the critters for the critters about Critical Role. I'm one of your hosts this evening. My name is Matt, and if I were a big tree in a desert, I would definitely arbor a large bird.
Hi, I'm Cate, and if I was a tree, I'd be a weeping willow because I like sappy movies.
Oh, hi, I'm Jess, and I was rooted to my seat for this episode. I couldn't believe everything that happened. Wahahaha.
So much better the second time.
Yeah, we did it. Is episode 141 a Critical Reroll or covering episode 65, Campaign 2, Critical Role? And we started back off and we're still in the barbed fields after the last fight. We have everyone kind of resting and chilling and having chats. And so we get to start off with a nice chat between Yasha and Jester when they take first watch and they discuss everything from monsters to Yasha's past as a rock and roll harp player.
Yeah.
Harp is hard to play. Harp is very, very hard to play. I played harp for 9 months, maybe.
I thought you were going to go many years. 9 months.
No. 9 months, because then I gave
See,
up.
my favorite thing is that she was thinking like this kind of harp, and I was thinking like a bard's harp, but it's Yasha, so she probably like one hand holds the giant harp and like.
What are the most rock and roll things you could do with a harp? Would she be like sending out arrows on it, like smashing at the end of every session, setting some of the strings on fire?
I like it.
French fries. She would make French fries and like smash the strings onto potatoes and like chops them up into lines.
Like boiled eggs.
Like, slap chop. That was her nickname, was slap chop.
Oh my god, Yasha's stage name Slapchop. Perfect. Done. We figured it out. Most important part of the episode.
Over. Thank you all for
done,
coming.
Guys.
It was great.
Thanks for being here. We did it. But so the whole barbed fields seems like a pretty interesting place. They don't know where the moorbounders are. They kind of look them up and they're hiding in some weird hidey holes. Oh, turns out giant turtle shell, guys. Just because, there's nothing small here in this area.
I was impressed by like how big it was, because I did miss the episode where the war turtles were introduced, but yeah, when they like said it was 50 by 50 feet, I was like, that's a big ass turtle.
25 feet tall, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Certainly.
What were the holes in it, though? Is that just how it grows, or the thing bores?
I assume that would have been its like head hole and its
arm
that
kind of
holes,
hole. I thought
like
I was thinking like little holes drilled into it, like something drilled into it. Okay, that makes sense.
Like leg holes.
Yeah, like I
where the head come out.
Where the head go?
Yeah, because I feel like the way Matt described it, right, was like it was sort of like the top of the turtle shell, and then you would have had like divots anytime there was sort of that where it had been hollow, like on top of the fact that he also described it had kind of been grown over and hollowed out and stuff like that, but it would naturally have those sorts of entrances from any of the like armholes, or like I'm looking for extremities.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the word I was looking for. I did it, guys.
I almost said phalanges and I knew that wasn't right.
No, that's a part of the plane. We've all seen Friends. I really wish Orly was there for that turtle shell moment, says King Sundu. Why?
Why would you wish that? Why would you wish that? I don't understand.
Yeah, is this like, did the turtle have an organ donation card when it passed? And it's like, this is what they give to the world. Oh, that's right, you and your joke. So he would be a turtle and a half shell.
Turtle. Okay.
But
Womp womp. I walked into that one.
You did.
Fine.
Like they walk into the turtles, the giant
And what
shell.
does they find? If there's a place you gotta get, that map is no help at all. It looked like it was kind of like an amusement park map, whereas like caricatures of everything that might be in the park. But maybe they didn't really see any landmarks that matched up from it. But here's my question. So the map. So Jester has her magic pigments that she really hasn't used much. If she were to like draw like a paper around the map? Could she have like pulled it off, kind of like a sticker, and like had
Very
a copy of
possible.
the map?
That would have been really
Like if she like did like a rubbing with them.
No, like you're saying like if she like would there be a way to use the because were they indented? Did he
Right.
specify that they were indented, or
I
would there
believe
be
they
a way
were.
to? Okay, so then you could do a rubbing, but also like
They
with
were
the
carvings, yeah.
with the pigment paint, which like you put on a physical thing, and then you can make out whatever you draw.
Right.
Like yeah, if you drew like literally just an outline around it, or kind of like a scrolly sort of thing,
Yeah.
could you
Yeah.
peel it off?
And
Yeah.
like then
would've
roll
just
it up,
rolled
or like
it
yeah,
out.
it'd be like a sheared part of the. I don't know. I just think that'd be fun.
No,
That
that's a
would be
really
fun.
cool idea.
I like that.
That's a really cool idea.
That
and
would've
I
been
really
awesome.
like it.
As opposed to
Yeah.
trying to draw a plank over all.
Yes, and making a bigger hole. But yeah, as John Allison says, the description of how the interior became its own habitat, that was a lot of fun. Like, things do live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
They also found some dead orcs.
Oh yeah. Had the Moorbounders eaten those?
Yup.
Good job, Moorbounders. So self-sufficient.
Yeah.
What
Because they, like,
what good bug-eyed kitty pups.
And they were only like a few hours old, so there were orcs nearby.
dealt with them.
The Moorbounders ate them.
I mean, they might have been living in the shell because it sounds like
probably were.
it sounds like it's mostly a fairly open area. You know what I mean? So like any sort of like good, shelter you would take advantage of, and that shell would be a really good shelter until a Moorbounder came in and ate ya.
Yep.
Or 3. They were scouts, but Matt said that they didn't appear to be tied to the dynasty. So they are some other faction that's wandering around.
Well, I mean, we had previously the bugbears that were sort of just nomadic explorer, hunter, gatherer types. So it could easily be that. There could totally be some other sort of just nomadic exploration hunter people, whatever. Many
But it is fun because
options.
I hadn't thought about what they do for the Moorbounders at night, because they just like, we're gonna throw up a tent,
They don't
go
need
buy
them.
cat dogs, go have fun.
That's what's so cool about them. They're so self-sufficient.
And now they're like, they come
don't
back.
take- If they don't take better care of them, they're going to eat each other. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, to some extent, if they don't, but mostly they have been self-sufficient and found themselves food so far. They're excellent hunters.
For now.
I mean, it's impressive in this, like, the most desolate place they could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, they hop on and ride out. There is a storm a brewing.
Yeah, so they travel on their Moorbounders across the barbed fields on their way towards Bazazan.
Real quick though, not from the top of the shell saw a tower.
Oh, yep, that's right. Saw a big thing, and it was could be a tower, could be a tree, could be left it kind of open to a few different things. Were you guys at any point thinking had any suspicions of what this was?
I had no idea.
Nope.
I was like, what they're gonna find? They're gonna find. Like, I still want to know what the barbs are. So this could just be like the original barb. You think the barbs are teeth?
Cause it's in a circle, so what if it's like a maw and the teeth are just sticking out of the ground?
I hate that.
I love it. It's so good, horrible. I love it.
I see. My thought is well, it doesn't make any sense, because there was the calamity and then the divergence when the good deities made the gate, and then plucked all the bad deities kind of out, and they all left. So that's like the remnants of them plucking them from the earth.
Oh, that's interesting. Sort of them pulling them up. I was wondering if it was like a Keyblade. Sorry, excuse my references to Kingdom Hearts, but the Keyblade graveyard.
Oh,
Keyblade...
yeah.
Well, I was thinking something along kind of like if they're petrified remnants of.
Yeah, like a former battle that happened there, because Matt did
Yeah.
talk about there being a former battle there, right? So what if
This
it's
is like the last battle of
Yeah, whether it's remainders of skeletons or previous weapons, or you know what I mean, bits of weapons sticking out, or teefies. Could totes be teefies.
It's an Alaskan bullworm. I think I've said that before.
Yeah, could be.
giant maw
That would be
that's
fun.
stuck underneath.
Just nom 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 noms.
But no, it's dead, or in states and
Oh.
it's just chilling until it gets
It's-
woken up, and then it's gonna Audrey to them like, rah!
It's a Tarrasque.
It is the
It
one
is.
Tarrasque.
It's,
Shit.
it's
That would
the
be amazing.
Tarrasque, guys. We found it. There's only one in the whole world, and we found it.
I like that.
Cause that's how that works. That's the lore of the Tarrasque, isn't it? There's only
Mhm.
one.
You figured it out.
We did it. We figured it out, guys. He's prepping
And it
them.
can never be killed, only put to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So as they travel along, we get the return of a long-loved friend, guys.
Yeah.
From back in the first campaign, the Gloomstalkers, our good friends.
Boop, boop, ba-doo.
Mistoffelees.
Mr. Mistoffelees is
Mistoffelees,
back.
how have you been?
I
We haven't
The
seen
original
you in...
Conjuring Gloomstalker.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, how are you, buddy? How you guys doing? So so we talked about how, like, you know, the Moorbounders are kind of monstrous, big, carnivorous monsters that one day might eat each other, but even they're freaked out by the
Yeah, that was
Gloomstalkers.
fun because they come across them. There's the Udak, which we still don't even know what they are. I'm convinced they are Snorlax Machamp combos, but there's one like asleep. It looks like on the side of the road, and so Caduceus goes and investigates, and turns out that it's not asleep. It's very dead and being eaten upon by Gloomstalkers.
Yum yum.
Yeah.
Yum yum yum. Poor Snorlax Machamp. I like that combo. I like this reference you have to. Because you described it as having 4 arms.
Yeah,
you
4 arms,
said?
but also big and fluffy, and it was blocking their path. So Snorlax.
So he's a big cutie Machampy Snorlax. If they had a Snorchamp. Thank
Yes,
you,
and he's
Dustin.
just fainted. He's not dead.
He's totally because Pokemon never die. They just faint. They're just passed out. They're just taking a nap, and the Gloomstalkers are grooming him like kitty cats do. You know, just giving them tongue
that fur is
kisses.
gross. We're gonna rip it off so you can get new fur at the Poke Center.
Yep.
Guys, I don't think that this is the way that
I
works.
think you're wrong. Let us live here.
I'm pretty sure we figured this out. I'm pretty sure we're happiest with our current thoughts, and let's just stay that way.
But then there's that that like
Like Gloomstalker.
yeah, he like Caduceus makes eye contact with him, and he's got the beady yellow eyes. And he's like, I don't proceed forward and I don't back up. Like I'm gonna say, hey, we're just walking, we're just passing.
We're just passing by. But the Gloomstalkers think differently. They don't want you. They're like new friends. Don't want you to go.
Big Shadow Boy. Just want pets.
Just want pets.
Hey.
I like the description this go because the first time they were described, I thought they were like more like the things from Lord of the Rings that the race ride, those little dragon things. But these are like just shadow wyverns that like drip shadow off of them, and
I love it so much.
as they fly, you can like see it in a trail, and it's deadly.
So cool.
And they did things this time that I don't think we saw them do last time, which was like
Yeah, did we see them do paralysis before? Because they did a lot. They were really doing a lot of
that,
paralysis.
and like
time.
the bamfing. Did they do that last time? Like the Nightcrawler shot? It has been a while. I don't remember.
It's been a while since
All I remember is that they were patrolling the skies, in the last one, and they seemed relatively intelligent. Because they had to dominate monster them. Because they did sort of investigate things and work as a team and stuff like that, but that 4 out of 5 of them did pounce on Nott's illusion, didn't
Yes. Which was like a clutch call.
we
Yeah.
know also that they are residents of the Shadowfell,
Yes.
which we have already seen other creatures from the Shadowfell.
Yeah, we've got the Shadowfell is
This nice little
seeping
nest
all
there.
over this place. So let's chat about that. What do we think's going on? Why does the Shadowfell have such a prominent presence here?
Bad shit happened.
Because, yeah, maybe between the Divergence and the Calamity and stuff like that, but also this area has been made permanently shadowed. So could it just be that they're sort of called to that sort of environment, that they're kind of like, hey, new chill place, let's go check this one out. I hear it's nice and shadowy. We love shadowy.
I wonder if it's some kind of vortex, this area, because of whatever divine explosions occurred. that there's a weakening in the planes.
Like there was
And that-
a fight between white magic and black magic, and this is now the gray magic that is flowing
yeah.
here.
Yeah, and that not portals, but there's a weakness between the planes, and these things are getting pulled in.
Well, like it all
Have been here.
well, like you're saying the portals and stuff like that.
Almost like Mad Magey kind of under mountain, where it's like all these weird things are
It's
from
it's
different
the
places.
upside down.
Yeah. Well, like with all those portal balls they've been finding, could they have been coming through in one of those? You know what I mean? Like, could there be one? Maybe not even like right here, but maybe they came out somewhere and found this to be an ideal sort of place to stay after making it through one of
Or
those.
Or this could be of what this could be like what inspired them to make the portal pulse. Like, hey, it's possible.
Or they're using these things as portal connections. Like, you know if they could be using like they took the heart out. You know, that's a big piece of power that the gloom heart that they pulled out. Could they be using components to actually create gates as part of these things?
I don't know. I wish I knew.
Maybe.
We've got in the chat, Chinscar says, big hole in the middle punched all the way through the Shadowfell.
Heck yeah! Who punched that hole? Who did that? Who did a punch?
I mean, we know Sarah and Ray can
to
punch
the
a dragon,
Shadowfell.
but can she punch a hole through the Shadowfell?
I think she could. Doesn't mean she would.
That's true.
Guys,
I think
Oh, damn it, Kate.
Guys,
Broke the fourth wall
accident.
and the
I
sixth
didn't wanna-
layer.
I didn't want to admit it.
I tripped and just made a fist as I fell.
Thank you.
It was me. I did the thing.
Let's see. What if all the rifts to other planes that are being unleashed in Jorhas are weakening the barriers between planes and opening other rifts to other planes like the Shadowfell? Yeah. John Allison's got it, probably.
That's where my thought was going.
Because that's really all. Like, we've seen orcs, we've seen Udaks, again, we don't know what the hell they are, and we've seen Shadowfell beasties. And now a giant bird, but we'll get to that.
Could that not be from the area already? Could that not already be?
Because
this giant tree has been here since the calamity.
That's true.
So
That's true.
So could the bird seems like it could be. I mean, we've seen rocks elsewhere in this plane, right?
Yeah.
But the like you guys said, the gloom stalkers seem to be from a different plane of existence. So what the heck they doing here? And like I do like the premise, like you guys are saying that, and like John Allison in chat said, that just a general opening of portals and a general opening of entrances to other planes would weaken the resolve between those layers almost, and sort of make it easy for perhaps a creature with some capability to traverse and cross the planes.
Oh, and this could also,
that's a pretty good
yeah, along with that, it could be like after effects of Vecna, ripping a part of the Shadowfell out and into this plane. All after effects. But yeah, the fight was interesting because they were on Dogback, Mounderback, whatever. It was great that they had a lot of radiant damage. Go ahead.
I felt so bad for the Moorbounders.
Yeah, they were like shooken.
They got really and Jester did a real good move of using command on
Yarnball
to be like, Yarnball, stay with the group, and like Matt is describing how like Yarnball is just like having that, despite being well trained, like is having that natural instinct to just sort of peel off and save himself, right? As you might do. I don't know. I felt so bad for Yarnball, and they all they take a big tumble, and oh my god, Matt talks about how like taking a tumble at that speed, like the Moorbouncers are fast. It's like taking a tumble out of a car, like not on the highway necessarily, but like a car on a fairly big road. So that is not great. Maybe don't want to do.
Yeah, definitely like take some time to heal your pets.
Poor babies.
Poor babies.
Yeah. So
also,
that
poor Bo, who was paralyzed through like the entire fight.
Poor Bo.
All that amazingness she did last week, and she's just like laying there.
She needed to take a break.
Um,
I'm interested
And
to
then she
find
gets
out
beat
how
up.
many hit die they all have currently. Because you only get half of those back after a long rest. Half the ones used. Or half of your max.
Yeah.
Or something.
Half of, yeah.
Because they need to use
and
them a lot.
I liked the voice Travis did as he did the like guttural calling up of the demon. That was real good. That was real good. I mean, Fjord is evil,
Obviously.
Yes.
obviously. Obviously. I'm so glad we're all on the same team here.
Pleasure.
So clearly evil. But it was pretty successful to call up that greater demon and kind of just ironically sacrifice them.
Yeah.
You call up the greater demon. Normally you have to give a sacrifice to get the greater demon.
No.
But yet here we are sacrificing the greater demon to the greater good.
He read the
here.
book backwards.
So he did it in the wrong order, but successfully so. Good job, you did it.
And then they kept going.
Then they finally did manage to get away. But even then, I like feeling so bad for the Moorbounders because they clearly were like so tired, so freaked out.
And then
like,
they don't,
those poor...
especially after that fight, they don't even get, like, here's a special treat because they don't have special treats.
Yeah, they need to get better Moorbounder treats for the guys. We need to
Sign a petition.
We have a. I was gonna say have like a GoFundMe for treats for the Moorbounders.
They need some Scooby snacks.
Yes.
They do.
Puppy power.
Bounty snacks.
Yeah. So that was sad, but good.
Some
They
jerky.
got away. They deserve better treats, guys. Treats for the Moorbounders.
Can you imagine how big those sticks of jerky would be?
Human-sized.
Like
Small. Maybe like small humans.
opening theme to Fred Flintstone with the
yeah.
rack of ribs on the car. That's how big they need to be.
I'm just trying to think of like my dog's treats and what they would have to be for a Moorbounder.
Yeah.
And how you can't really be like sit, wait for the treat. No, it's just as soon as it's visible, your hand's gone.
Yep. So they finally do rest. They make the dome to rest in. They notice some like grass in the dome in like kind of a weird way. They're like, that's weird. Okay, whatever. Let's keep going. And they had previously done some sort of skill checks to try and determine if they could recognize what that tree was. And they hadn't succeeded, but Bo hadn't done it yet because she hadn't really been involved in the situation. So Bo finally takes a second, thinks about it, and being the, beefcake nerd that she is, has read about this before, and she's the one that's able to tell them that, from her studies, there's stories of the Wildmother bearing a seed in the most desolate lands after the destruction of the Divergence to kind of prove that, life could spring forth anew even from the worst places. And that there is in fact a sister tree known as the Seed of Rebirth in Vasselheim.
Bum, bum, bum.
Do you get the name of this tree from Essex though? Because Jester messages Essex saying, "Hey, we found this tree in the middle of nowhere."
And real quick, he's
that-
just like, oh, you found the Arbor Exemplar.
Hey, congrats!
Yeah, good job, and then hangs up.
You did the thing.
You made it really deep. I'm
Don't-
proud of you. Good
Don't
job,
call me
Matt.
at work. But yeah, so like,
Yeah.
what do we think?
But at that time, Caduceus also tries
yeah.
to communes with the Wildmother, and he's like, "Hey, is this place yours?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Can I fix this?" And she's like, "No."
and then for the first time, he's like, I don't like this answer, like audibly and physically, like he doesn't like what he was just told.
Yeah, because he has almost never taken issue with anything. Like he has almost always been like, yeah, okay, and just like shrugged it off or been like, yeah, that's fine, that's how it goes. Oh well, too bad, that's just what it is. You're right, this is one of the few times he was ever like, don't like this.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Captain America style, I don't like it.
I don't like it. Don't like it.
But yeah, is a different side of Caduceus, even if it's just for a second, is still.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, they also do a little scrying on Buddy
On old
Boy.
Ben.
On old Ben, the hermit.
Mm-hmm. Who at this point I think is just running them for a loop, because I don't... Do they have confirmation that it was Oban that messaged Jester to be like, follow me this way? Or was it just someone else trying to get these meddling kids out of Jorhus so they can do stuff?
I think they did confirm it.
Because they haven't tried to message him back at all.
No, but did they scry on him to, like, be like, oh yes, this is the dude? I don't remember. But yeah, so she scries on Oban or Jester scries on Oban, he fails. So she gets taken to a rocky base of a mountain, the Penumbra Range, and he's looking for something, and ultimately doesn't find it, but he looks like he's in a storm as well, so they're kind of like, well, I guess he's close.
But that's still...
Unless this is a really big storm that's blowing
Or this storm is massive.
Yeah, you're still trying to find a single man in a storm in a mountain in, like, a desert.
Yeah. And the Penumbra Range is pretty big. Pretty big mountain range.
Pretty big mountain range. Jumping back real quick, we got one thing from John Allison in the chat again. It seemed to me that Caduceus was upset that she said his path was his own. I think he was counting on her guiding him more directly. That could be interesting. An interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see wanting that, but I feel at the same time that she has been pretty loose with him in the past, and he has been pretty okay with that. So to want more direct, obvious direction here is still a little bit out of the norm, I feel like, for him. It's not unwarranted. It's not, like, unreasonable by any means. It's just a little different than what we've seen, I think. That's all I think. I do also like when Not was like, what's a Vasselheim?
Yeah. And what's a continent?
It's a city in another continent. What's a continent?
Oh boy. Yeah. Come on, Veth.
Come on, Veth. What up?
Not does do a little bit of reconnaissance on the tree at that time to just get an idea what it's like, scoping it out as Kayla puts up the dome.
Did she find? I'm trying to remember. Did she?
She found like the cave that had the fire pit in it, but nothing really else.
Yeah. So nothing too much.
Nope.
Yeah, so they set up the dome, they go to rest, they go to take their turns doing watches for the night, and this is when we start to get some very juicy dreams, you guys. So Caduceus is first. Caduceus, of course, thinking of the Wildmother, thinking of the land, asking his questions, starts to get visions of sort of, zipping around the world, different directions, seeing sort of purple crystals, getting visions of, as Matt describes, a mammoth ravine with a rudimentary city sort of like hidden within it. And then beyond that, there's like this beautiful untouched shore, sees some jungles with an oasis in the middle, just like a lot of stuff to take in. What do you guys think she was?
I don't know. My very first thought when we were talking about like the white pebbles and stuff, I was like, "Oh, white stone," and they're like, "Yeah, no, there's a volcano."
Well, like
here.
the white pebbles and the glass beach. I was thinking of that place where they had to go to like talk to Sarah. Yeah, the Glen Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. There was a lot of focus on the coloring of everything. And I was like, okay, this is
white, green, and purple were the big three colors in this. But like the white pebbles and then the green, that residuum was what the other thing that popped into my head was when the pieces were dropping into the lava or the magma.
So is the purple crystal a new important crystal we haven't met yet? So we've seen the white stone, we've seen the green residuum. What's the purple crystal?
Meth. Sorry. No, it's I don't know. Like the whole thing was sort of like it felt a lot like instructions, and we've been forgetting to look at these. We put out question forms after each live episode of Critical Role for you guys to ask questions in long form, so you can avoid spoilers and people getting mad on Twitter and other things. One of them, which is directly related to this, was so many lore drops and possibilities from the Melora Dream Visitations. And this is from No Names. We're going to call him Alfonso. Thank you, Alfonso. It seems like Clay has to collect the glass beads, drop them in the molten pool by the anvil on the volcano to grow some purple crystals, then carry those crystals to a hidden temple. Temple pond within on a cavern on the coast. Any theories of what they'll grow into? I have nothing.
I think this is just the way you're describing it now makes me feel like the Wildmother is actually just giving him like a kindergarten crafting type thing. You know, when you like grow the crystals and stuff like that. She's just showing him some crafty
rock
stuff.
candy.
I don't know if it is. I'm not convinced this is as straightforward as everyone else. I'm like, where's the symbology? Okay, what is like? I don't think he actually has to go find these white rocks and bring it to a volcano and make these crystals. I was like, well, I don't know what it means, but I think it's more symbolic.
That's interesting. So there are like sort of like two extremes here. Is it completely symbolic? She's just like giving him sort of like, because a lot of what is described often with the Wildmother is more like feelings. Do you know what I mean? Like more just like you feel this rather than she shows you something direct and gives you an extremely literal thing to follow. Or is it like Alfonso asked in the question, is it an exact treasure map of you must do this step, then this step, then this step, then this step?
Because I think we already got the exact treasure map with Ukatoa. So I don't think the Wildmother would be doing this.
Well, I like what King Sundu has said in our chat of what if the Wildmother is seeking to open the divine gate and she's having Caduceus forge the key. That could be fun. Like Melora is like, I've had it. The dark forces are like making it back to the material plane. They have dark agents about, and other people are rising to power. Like we need to get back. But like all the other divine beings are like, no, we're good here, and she's like, no.
Yeah, we need to go help my children.
Alternatively, all I really thought about it was like maybe it's just some sort of like Melora pilgrimage type thing. Like this is a test, not a test, but like do this thing because it's fun. Because in the vision, like there were already other purple crystals that had fallen into this water and grown apparently.
Yeah. You saw the purple crystals twice in both parts of the vision. So the first part was the grains of the green sand falling onto the anvil and into the rocks, into the molten lava, and then becoming purple crystals. And then in the other one, the purple crystals were in the pond, and like the crystals were growing roots.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that is obviously like do this here, do that there. But then there was the other.
What if he's the purple crystal? What if he is the purple crystal?
He's the pink crystal. There is something. So, and I've mentioned it before. At the it was on one of the live shows that I went to. They do like the beginning Q&A that isn't broadcast anywhere. Somebody had asked asked Taliesin like, hey, what's the symbology of you having pink hair and your spell casting when you heal somebody, pink moss grows, and he's like, it's not time to reveal that yet. So I'm like, is there gonna be time to reveal it yet?
Interesting.
And he's got that special crystal on his staff that we don't know much about.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah! Is it a Kyber crystal?
Is it a Kyber crystal?
He's gonna have a lightsaber?
Maybe?
Yep. Mace may be confirmed.
I believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the other part of the vision, because the first one was all colorful. The second part of it was like there's this gray valley with with denizens there. So maybe like he has to go there and bring the light back to the world. I don't know. I don't want to know.
It still seemed like he didn't have a lot of direction. Like literally our meeting of him, pretty much all his family has gone out to solve a problem. He has heard nothing back from them, and he doesn't love it, but he's accepting of it. And similar here, a lot of his stuff has been he's keeping an eye out for his own personal quest, but he's also just kind of going along, just feeling like going with the flow, like doing like stuff like that. So
Why hasn't
I don't know. I can't see.
Why hasn't he scryed on his family or sending them?
He has. They asked him that,
did
and he
they?
said, "If I was supposed to know that, I would know it."
I think somebody else should do it.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, someone else could if they want to like not respect his privacy.
I'm too interested.
Whoa. Listen. Anyways, but yeah, that's my point when I say that like it seems out of. I think I agree with you, Kate, that it seems out of character for it to be so direct and so obvious when that's not. But I mean, it could also be that this is the time to do that. It could also be that he has been waiting for direction this whole time and like accepting of not getting it yet. Now's not the time. And now it's like, hey, all of the extremely logical directions and puzzles now. Like,
You found my tree. You have unlocked the code.
yeah. You've done it. This was the cipher. This was the save point I was waiting for you to get to.
Now the next expansion is loading into the game. Please wait. Have fun looking at this loading screen of all the different places you can go.
You've unlocked my DLC. Good job.
Oh boy, because like there's some cool like there's the untouched shore. There's a jungle. There's beasts that are drinking from like a secluded lake in a jungle that isn't important because you pan over here, and then there's the cavern that looks like it has gold veins that look like lightning had struck it, and then there's the temple inside, and there's purple crystals that fall from the ceiling and like grow.
It seems like a lot of stuff that like, because I couldn't help but feel like a lot of the stuff that was being described I wouldn't necessarily immediately attribute to the Wildmother. It almost seemed like it could have been a few different people's, a few different things. Do you know what I mean? Like it could have been like, because like the lightning and stuff like that is sort of more the Stormlord and stuff, and like I don't know which other things, but you know what I mean? Like it seemed almost like it could be elements like you're describing, like maybe this is her asking him to build a thing or connect with a few different people to fight all the darkness coming into the world despite the protections that are supposed to be there. I don't know, we're just throwing stuff out, guys. So I'm just throwing stuff
throw it
on the
all.
wall.
Well, that's what I was like. Well, my brain automatically was like, well, who was the Anvil? Like when this was going on.
I think it's an
like,
actual anvil because that's his quest. He's going to a kiln in a mountain like that.
There is a god whose symbol is an anvil, isn't
like
there?
Torm, right? God of the Forge. Is that Torm? That's not Torm.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know who Matt's version of Torm is.
Are they pals? Could be Torm, could be Stormlord, could be Wildmother, could be, there could be a few people here.
Put them together, they're Tormy Lord. The All-Hammer. The All-Hammer.
It's a Time Lord!
It's Torbjorn!
It's actually Doctor Who! It's actually...
Do we...
All-Hammer, yeah.
So that's actually what's happening there.
But that isn't even the only dream that happens that night.
I was gonna say, if everyone's done speculating on this dream, we have another dream to talk about.
Forecast.
Time for the forecast. So, after we exit out of Caduceus'
of
dream,
happy dream.
We enter comfortably down into the unhappy dream of Fajordi.
And everyone's immediately like, oh, you got tattled on.
Like, you're in trouble. Yeah, exactly. Like the kid that just got called into the principal's office. That's Fajord. They all know he's in shit with his patron. Like, his patron has not been happy with him. His patron has been reprimanding him. Like, has not been great. So we get Ford going back into that oh so familiar sort of darkness, that depth and water, seeing that oh so attractive giant eye, and getting the words return and release, because it's very clear what Uk'otoa wants. Uk'otoa has never been like secret on this. Yeah, he lets you know what he wants. So we get this like big scary moment only to have
tension.
I was freaked out at first. I have to say, I didn't realize what was happening at first as Matt was describing it. It describes tendrils emerging from the pupil, and emerald light But then it gets a little more clear as he describes, you start to feel warm. The water has never been warm. The water has always been cold and dark.
He peed.
And yeah. So Ford just peed himself, clearly. Thanks for ruining that moment, Matthew.
I'm sorry.
But Matt Mercer describes Ford feeling comfort, which is not something he feels normally in these sorts of dreams. And he hears a voice he's never heard before say, "Come with me, child."
And who calls
What
people
the heck?
child other than their mother?
So I think everyone kind of like by this point,
I was like, oh my god.
everyone knew by this.
I was pulled back in.
Yeah.
Because when Matt was describing, because he made like a cracking noise, I'm like, oh god, he's reaching in with these tendrils and he's gonna rip out that orb. But, but like the orbs were coming out, and then it's like they're vines. I'm like, oh shit, this is like grass stuff's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ford listens and goes through this sort of doorway almost that is open for him, and he looks upon what is described as a motherly face in a room of greenery. And she offers him this safe space. And she says, sort of, what I grant to you is only capable with faith, I believe.
Yeah, like the womb I offer deteriorates without faith.
Yeah. And she warns him his will shall find you again, but until it does rest. What a friction! Oh my god, you guys!
I love our mom.
Yeah.
Mama wants to save Jordan's soul.
See, but you know, as soon as she shut the door, she went downstairs and they had a fight. Her and Ukatoa. Yeah.
This is my land.
Z snaps
Back
everywhere.
up.
Yeah. So, do you guys think, like, is this a patron switch? Is this a class switch? Is this a...
I don't think it's
is this a temporary allotment? Is this...
I think this is equal parts like temporary patron change to like you're in this land, the Lord's got your back, mixed with like Matt saying if Ford doesn't get back soon he's gonna die, so I gotta figure out how to remedy this for the story.
Yeah.
But also like maybe Ford could switch to a Fae patron.
Yeah, like kind of offering a chance to redeem Ford's dark evil soul. Cuz he's evil. But the fact that here's my question. The fact that she said this requires faith, do you think Ford is capable of that? Do you think...
Not at this point.
Mm-mm.
Not at this point. I think it's just because they are where they are that the land affords her to be able to do this. Again, kind of going off the whole idea that the gate is weaker here, or the walls between the different planes are weaker here. She is able to reach out in a way she wouldn't or couldn't in other places.
Because they're literally like on her last like physical presence in this plane. So hell yeah, she's gonna get at some mischief.
Yeah.
Well, not mischief.
So it's like this is my little land. Everybody here is protected. That includes Ford for right now. You step off this grass, he gonna come get you.
Do you think that Mercer is offering Travis the opportunity to fully change, or just a temporary change? Or
don't know if it's necessarily opportunity at this point. I think it's the idea of it. Like, hey, there are other options.
Yeah, this is a new carrot for Ford to like, or Travis to be like, okay, I'm gonna explore this now. Like, if he keeps reaching out, maybe it'll be like, hey, you could get rid of this, water, and you can have nice grass forever. I don't know what the repercussions of that would be.
Can Ford never go out in the ocean ever again?
That would be interesting. Like, he loses the ability to swim. Like, you just can't do it anymore. You go in there and you sink.
But even just going out onto the ocean, where like too close to where Ukatoa perhaps has power, would Ukatoa be able to enact vengeance?
Can he go in the other oceans?
I guess that's true. Like, if Ukuto only has power in, like, one particular body of water.
Yeah, like if he only
Can he
has
not use that?
the Lucidian Ocean. Yeah, that's where they were. They were in Lucidian. Like, what about the Osmit Sea if they went on to the other side of Taldore? You know, like, hey, you can't get me here.
Who knows? But we do have one question that's kind of hard to parse with the words that are used in it, and we're going to say this is from Jackie. So Ford, on a scale of secretly wants all the evil power to accidentally blowing massive chunks out of a potential good benefactor's holy tree, how do you think Ford's doing right now? I think he's just real confused because he's about to get pecked at by a giant bird right now.
Yeah. I don't think his brain's registering anything yet.
Yeah, he's got other things to think about. In the immediate.
Yeah, but I think he probably enjoyed, you know, what was described as one of his best nights of sleep, like a nice, calm, dreamless sleep after that, which in and of itself must be positive and relieving to him. So I think that's a thing. I think he'll have to consider this, but I don't know. I feel like Ford has also made excuses in the past for not believing things he has seen and experienced. So I feel like that could happen here too. And also, he's evil.
True.
So, you know,
But things that I do want him to explore, because as everybody's reminding us in chat, like his magic feels different when he used it. I want to see if the falchion temporarily looks different, like if it's some like nice, like a grass sword.
Flowery sword. Oh
like,
my god, give him a flowery
Kyrie's
sword.
Keyblade, since we're on a Kingdom Hearts kick earlier. They barely get to see in the game. Spoiler, I guess.
Yeah, sorry guys. But I was gonna say, even like in Adventure Time, Finn has a grass blade, a grass sword. I kind of imagining that. Like, that would be like really cool. Just like whoosh, grass blade turns into a giant green sword. That would be freaking awesome. Yes, I definitely want. It would be very, very cool if, even if it's only for a short period of time, if we could see Ford with a different flavor and see how him and the rest of the party react to it. Because that would be a whole freaking thing.
Yeah, because like,
I mean, if they gotta fight a rock, who knows what's gonna happen?
I just know that he is officially Ludicolo. He's a grass water type now. You're welcome. Pokemon references for days. So yeah, they have those dreams and then decide to explore the tree even further. Because
before that
like
happens,
wait. Sorry, I'm gonna go over here.
Before that, how dare listen?
Wait.
Can you believe Kate, I can see your face, and I agree. I agree with that face.
What did I skip? Oh, yes.
For everyone listening to the podcast right now, come hang out. See these wonderful
See these
faces.
scowls that I'm currently terrified of.
But, you know, Jester takes her turn on watch, and what does she do at that time? She messages Kiri! Guys!
I love my baby.
It's so sweet. I love that she says a few things and you have a moment of like, one of the things she says is like, go eat your dinner or something like that, which is such a cute,
Come eat your food.
Come eat your food, which must be something she heard in her new home with her new family, which is so sweet. But then she just also repeats, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you so much, like just over and over again. And Mercer's,
yeah, I miss you. Come eat your food. Where are you? I miss you. I miss you.
I was hoping for like a don't die, okay? Or something.
Yeah. And then we also get a little interaction between Bo and Yasha. With Yasha opening up, with Bo opening up a little bit about the first person she loved and her background and a little more insight into her criminal days as she ran with a girl named Tori, who was older and her literal partner in crime, and they got caught, and now Bo thinks if she ever meets her again, Tori's gonna kick her ass. Because Bo's dad sprung her out of prison, but didn't spring Tori. And she makes the concession saying, you know, I know this doesn't compare to your situation, but leaving behind loved ones sucks. So they have a nice little moment together.
Mm-hmm.
And Yasha says, thank you for not judging me. And Bo was like, well, who am I to judge? Like, look at me. And Yasha goes, well, I have been looking. I was like, oh,
Oh.
I see you a lot. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, my. But
Happy Pride.
Yeah, happy Pride, guys. Yep. Yep. Get it, girls. No, anyways, yeah, I think those were the most important moments of the night. So next day, tree time.
Well, Yasha also saw a big bird flying around.
Yeah,
when
that's
they
true.
were on watch. Yeah. Like, shit. Like, we think our moorbounder just got eaten.
Oh, Matt, you're
I
proud.
fixed it. I'll cut this out of the audio podcast. So let's say things that the audio people will never hear. Blue, 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 And back.
Hey.
Don't remember what I said.
Talking about the rock, and we saw it picking stuff up.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick up that rock drop?
Drop that rock, and I'll pick it up. No, yeah, the rock dive bombed and picked something up, and I liked the description.
Rocks fall, moorbounders
Yeah,
die.
every moorbounder die. But it's fun because the description of like, he says Jester like sees it dive bomb, and she's about to react to it until she realizes that it's very, very far away. But that means it's very, very big. Because we don't know like how old this rock is, but rocks can get up to having like a 400-foot wingspan. They're gargantuan titans of the sky. Supposedly they were like bred to give humanoids a chance to battle dragons, so that dragons don't like dominate the skies.
Really?
Yeah, and they live in like.
That's a really cool lore. I did not know that.
So I think that rocks are kind of the Ukatoa equivalent of the sky, kind of. So maybe a rock could be this phoenix thing that they don't know the other thing.
Yeah.
Because there's the worm, the phoenix, and the snake, serpent.
Interesting. So what you're saying is Ford needs to go get some powers from this as well now, because Ford will get magic powers anywhere he can.
Because
Take
he's already got the yellow
harness the
stone. He's
rock.
still got to get the blue one and the red one, and put them in his infinity sword.
Yep. And then we swallow them, put them in his tum tum, whip out that infinity sword, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And then they all go to sleep.
Oh yes, sleep, and the next day tree time.
Tree time.
Now is it tree time?
Well, there's no more
Tree time.
there's no
Now
more
it's tree
bounders
time.
at first, and they call them and they still don't see them, but they're all like knowledgeable that there's a tree with a big bird in it. Maybe don't yell out for these things. So what does Jester do? She sendings to Yarnball, and there's like this oddly suspenseful moment for this moorbounder of like everybody kind of like leans in and just starts making like bark 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 bark.
You don't speak more than
Yeah.
and they can return the message. They can reply.
You can reply to this message. But that's when they start heading in, and so when they got there, it was still desolate, but through the night they started to notice grass actively growing at their feet, and then they wake up and they see that grass now extends like 300 feet from this tree.
And Yasha took a blade of the grass to put in her book.
Yes.
So sweet.
That was really sweet, that moment.
And obviously the next thing is his climate.
Hey,
Well, they check out the little cave in the roots. And that's where the moorbounders are.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a check for trapdoors and do a detect magic. And it's like the whole tree is magic.
Do I detect magic? Yes. Next. A lot of it. A lot of divine magic.
Then they decide to climb.
Right, and they're like, okay, strength is
So-
good for that, but also monks that can run up vertical surfaces.
Yeah. Jeez Louise, Bo.
The Bo, Ford, and Not are the ones who start off trying to climb the tree, and yeah, Bo just runs up it.
Yeah, like all the descriptions of like the like climbing, and then Not immediately falls, and then for some reason Jester gets like pressure, not peer pressure, but like there was a miscommunication, and the Jester's like, I wasn't gonna go. Okay, I'll go. And then just Bo is just booking it, and everyone's like, slow down. She's like, I gotta get momentum to do this.
That seems fair. That seems like it makes okay. To be fair, like part of me is like, geez, it's so bananas she can do that. But then again, there's a lot of stuff she can't do. So like, this is her magic. You know what I mean? Her magic.
I have one job on this ship, and damn it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, is to have fast feet and furious fists, guys. And this is her showing
the
that
grog
off,
treatment.
So yeah. It makes perfect sense, because even as they were on the Moorbounders trying to get away from the Gloom Stalkers, everyone's preparing magic, and she's like, I flipped the birds! Because that's what you can do as a monk.
Real quick, just hopping back, Axe Lobo in the chat asked, why do all these deities want Ford? Why is he so special to them?
Don't know.
He's open to any opportunity. Come on. He was a regular dude, didn't have anything special about him. You know, was a sad little orphan boy who had gotten, like, teased and people treated him real poop. So anyone offers him, like, anyone's nice, shows that they might care, might take care of him, might give him some support.
He just wants love.
I don't know if he wants love. He just wants to.
Yeah,
he wants to be wanted.
I want you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's singing that song all the time. Just
and obviously
non-stop.
very good, because all of these deities have hit the button and turned their shit around. Bam, voice reference.
Yeah, he's definitely singing it loud enough that several people are like, oh hey, yeah, I could do that.
that tall drink of water.
Magic I could trade.
But yeah, so they all make it up the tree, at least it looks like it, until somebody rolls a 1.
Lara.
Yeah.
And things snap.
Jester goes down. And Ford has that moment of like diving after her. Clearly he has a plan. But also, Not and Caleb are both on the ground, hands up, ready to like featherfall everyone. Like why harness in when you go climb in a tree when you just have constant magic? Like, you're fine. Like, it's so yeah, I think like it's so interesting that both Not and Caleb had Featherfall, and then Ford had Thunderstep ready to go. So they were so many layers fine to do this, honestly. It's which I mean is good if you're gonna do crazy
See,
stuff, so.
But they all
my thing was like they had to get what 300 or 400 feet up, or how
300.
Okay, Jester has
there was like
she has
checks.
Dimension Door. That's one of her cleric abilities. She could have just like fallen and like, oh, J.K. Lowell taking herself to the top.
But is it 300 feet?
Yeah, I think so.
Door?
Would she have come through the door with the same amount of momentum as
I
falling,
hope
though,
so,
and just,
because
like,
that is fun with portals.
and just like been shot. Yeah, like shot freaking up. That would have been bonkers and probably not great.
Like you just see her fall, door open, and then.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Amazing.
Dimension Door. I don't know how to spell dimension, so we can't look that up. Nope. Yep, 300 feet.
Wow. Yeah, so she could have.
She could have just Dimension Doored straight up there, but this was more fun. There was a good. There was a lot of. It was very dramatic.
Oh.
And then Caleb's just like, "Cool, I'm a big bird. Let's go up there."
Sorry, guys. 500 feet.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to know the direction you're going to. So, like, upward at this degree angle, 300 feet.
So it's specific, but you can do it. Like
I'm going to.
And Jim Songs RS in the chat. It's her spell she gets from her domain, Trickery Domain. So she automatically has it. It's not usually available to clerics, so she's the only one that gets it.
Oh, it's something that comes with the Trickery Domain. What level did she get that at?
5th? It's a 3rd level spell, so you get that at 5th.
Yeah,
and that's what she was also saying to Yasha. If Yasha didn't want to like remember things, she also got Modify Memory as her domain spell.
Yes. so she could change that for her. I thought it was
Trixie.
very interesting in telling some of the discussions like that and saying, yeah, like I've definitely found when I have problems, the best thing to do about them is just to run away. Like,
well, we're
I
trying
bet,
to
and I bet the Stormlord didn't like that,
no.
but the weird other deity probably did inside her head.
like,
Guys, why? No.
But yeah, they get this tree, they explore. Do they? In my opinion, this is really not worth it, the time spent exploring this tree. Because there's a big bird that can kill you in there.
I mean, I think we discussed this a little bit. I think that, like, it's sort of like, why are you taking the time to explore this tree? You have other missions. It's dangerous. Why would you do this? One, they can. They have all that magic that lets them do this safely and relatively quickly. Two, there seem to be a lot of hints towards it. There seem to be a lot of hints that this was important. Like
it's a giant magic tree in the middle of nothing.
I mean, I get that, but in the
Yeah.
context of this world that they're in, there's a war impending. There is subterfuge like happening soon.
Yeah.
When have they ever cared about anything
I
else?
know,
that's
but
going
like,
on? Hey, there's a war. Cool. Let's.
they
be
don't
pirates.
they don't have the keyless fast travel ability. Like if they do scry somewhere and see that a war is happening, they're still 3 days out from being able to help.
Yeah. Too bad.
I mean, I get it, but like, they climb the tree, they get a feather, but I mean, I'm skipping a lot. They draw in this tree. They do see Zatarans from the top of it. But Not is flying around now with Caleb and like yelling like, we saw Bazazan, which wakes up a bird. And then are they gonna have to fight a bird? I mean, they're not gonna be able to fight this bird.
I do like when Ford turned into a stick.
Yes.
He's like, I use my mask of many faces to turn brown and look like a stick so it doesn't see
Like
me.
the thing from Bug's Life. It was all Bug's Life.
Just the way Matt described this tree with like them being tiny people in a giant tree. Like, these leaves are 4 feet long.
You could surf down them like an ant from a Bug's Life. I'm gonna keep saying it's a Bug's Life.
Or it's Fern Gully. It could be Fern Gully.
That's true. And there could that's the smoke monster's Orthax from Fern Gully.
That's true. That actually fits really well.
Like the concept of pollution.
Broke the code.
The concept of pollution.
That's
in
like
this
a
world.
3-minute song in the movie.
Oh yeah, no, and it's
Song by
like
Tim
really Tim Curry, and it's really seductive. Like it's really like saucy.
Surprise!
Like...
Welcome to our Fern Gully fan cast. Anyway, like they end with them jumping out of a tree, like all commando style. Like, nope, we're going. Bye.
Well, because when that thing wakes the heck up, you don't want to be there.
Or do you want to be there where it can't fly at you? You could probably dodge it better under its feet.
Well, or under those roots.
Oh, that's true.
I'm sure it can't get under the
So
roots.
you have to...
Like, and that's harder. Like, it would have to be down on the ground, and it could probably, like, maybe poke its beak in a bit, but probably not the whole thing.
That's true.
So,
but now it's a race to the ground, and they have Featherfall already on them, so they're floating real slow.
Now it's the rescuers down under.
Oh,
and they still need to Five Goes West.
Oh, dang it, guys. So many movies.
So many movies.
I love all of this.
My childhood.
Oh. Did we have any more questions from the...
quick fire them, because we probably do. Those poor orcs that the Moorbounders ate. The M9 didn't seem to give a second thought, and neither will I. I mean, it was kind of odd, because these are, like, pure orcs, not half orcs, and we don't really see a lot of those, but, I mean, it is Jorhas, so they are everywhere.
I would still argue it's, like... I feel like we did discuss this a little bit. Like, it was very much sort of, like, the same way I would imagine the bugbears. They kind of, like, lived out here in the wild, and this was just kind of their thing. And unfortunately, someone came into their shelter and repurposed it.
And repurposed them into food.
Yep.
Where did the bands of orcs that the blacksmith talked to Ford about? Where were they from? Were they from the north or from
They were from around where Caduceus lived, I thought. Like in between Caduceus and
north.
Yeah, the north.
Okay.
Other question.
So yeah.
If you were a mystical patron, what would your presence feel like, and how would you enter your devotees' dreams?
Like a wrecking ball.
Kit came in like a wrecking
So if
ball.
I were to enter a dream, you would immediately hear the like the encounter music from Pokemon.
Pokemon music.
And then if we talk, it'll turn into like the Pokemon Center theme, and then I'll leave, and it'll be like the bum 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 when you heal your Pokemon. Yep.
Yep.
But very combative.
Definitely.
At first.
So you're like really frightened, but then you're like, oh, that went pretty well, actually.
Because you have the exclamation point pop over your head. Because we made eye contact.
Okay. Definitely like leaves and flowers, just like poofing out and being like, oh, hi, at me. Like, and it would feel just nice, like the spring and the summer, like a nice warm day and lots of flowers. It'd be very fragrant and lovely, and then I would leave and you'd have allergies and it would suck.
I'd come rolling in a giant D20 and it would smell like chocolate chip cookies. Because I am the warlock patron of dice and cookies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they made a quill out of that feather and gave it to Jester? I can imagine it, and it wouldn't work in my imagining of it. Because it's
Like, I used to get those novelty pencils from like the aquarium and the zoo that were about a 1.5 feet, 2 feet long. Those were hard enough to write with. I can't imagine a 4 foot long quill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in a pirate hat for a giant.
Well, see, this goes to a thing. So some spells have components. I always have this thought of like maybe there could be some sort of compendium of it. Like if you use a really, really specific item as a component for this spell, would it get like supercharged? So if there's a spell that uses a feather, maybe they could use this in it and see what happens.
Every featherfall.
Yeah,
Here you
instead
go.
of
Featherfall for 20 for a party.
for a
of
party
20.
of 20, and you get to go up a little bit. You don't have to fall.
Yeah, you can kind of like walk across a little bit. You can kind of
Just
like
float.
And it lasts
move lateral for a little
maybe
while.
longer than a minute. But yeah, I don't know if a quill would be a good use for this thing.
Yeah, I don't think it would be. And like she already has like all her writing utensils and paints and things like that. She has a lot of stuff.
I bet you could sell it for something.
I'm sure you
For a
could.
magic
And then we got a question mid-episode of what would you name Yasha's heavy metal band? And I think this would be a good one to maybe end on.
Ooh.
Yes, this is a good one.
Yasha's metal
Ooh.
band.
Didn't we literally come up with one before and I've forgotten it? We definitely discussed one.
I mean, we just called her Slap Chop at the beginning of the episode.
There was a different one though. That's a good one though. I like Slapshot.
So what do we know about Yasha? ASMR, Barbarian.
I mean, she has the Orphan Maker, but she doesn't
Orphan
seem
Maker.
super fond of that. So like the Meat Grinder, because I'm thinking of that because the Slapshot.
Well, who would be
now
in the
going
band?
through
Is
the
she
strings of
the
harp.
front woman of the band? Obviously.
The Slice and Dice.
Slice and Dice is good.
Like it's like Death from Above, or like I feel like Iron Maiden's like 2 on.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes.
Yasha in chains, because she is in her vision.
Oh my god.
Shackle Breaker.
There we go. That's
Yeah,
good.
like warrior woman, like the really obvious, just like it's a metal title, but it's also what she is. Like,
Breaker of Chain. She is now Daenerys.
oh my god. Ooh, Angel in Irons we got from Chinscar.
Ooh, Wasteland.
That's a good one. Orphan Maker is pretty much already a heavy metal name. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So she could just keep that.
Because she swoons all the ladies away from their guys. So bam. That was nothing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. How do we end these things?
we say who we are and where you
Thanks.
can find us and
Thanks
what
for
to
hanging
do.
out, guys. This was a fun time. We love chatting with you. Don't forget we got that form you can fill out. Go do that and send us questions and come to the Twitch channel Sunday nights 9 p.m. EST to come be part of the chat. We post these up in different places. Go listen and or watch. Hit that like, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe.
Leave a comment.
All those things. Yes, it's
Reviews.
good for us. It helps us out, and we want to do this with you. We want to hang out and do this awesome stuff with you. So come be part of it. Share the love with us. Bunch of nerdy ass fans of a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors.
It's us.
So this has been episode 141 of Critical Reroll, and my name was Jess. Who knows what it is now? But you can go find me at @go_JG on Twitch and Twitter. So yeah.
My name is Matt, and I cut off Cate on accident. And you can yell at me about it on Twitter at Matt_Abernathy.
And I am Cate, not dusted like my name said in chat for a little while. You can find me at @SeaMonster both on Twitch and Twitter.
Alright.
Thanks for coming out and listening to us about this episode.
Yeah, everybody say bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Beep, 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 beep.